Hello, church family. Nick here. I hope you're well. I'm taking a break from preparing this sermon. We're going to be in Mark, the first half of Mark chapter 7 this weekend. It's a passage where Jesus goes head to head with the religious authorities of his day again. And you know, in it, he actually has some pretty harsh words for them. Quoting from the prophet Isaiah, he says, it's true what the prophet says, where he says that these people come near to me with their mouths and honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Their worship of me is made up only of rules taught by men. And he goes on and he points out to them that merely following human traditions is insufficient. The Jesus life is way more full than that. But there's this interesting relationship between the law and following Jesus. Because Jesus, of course, didn't come to abolish the law, but to fulfill the law. You know, many of you have asked me over time, what's my favorite translation of the Bible? And frankly, I think it's whatever translation you're reading. But when I'm preparing a sermon, I look through all different kinds. I look through the ESV, I've got that here. I've got the NIV rather here. I've got the NLT here and the King James, New King James here, and these and a bunch of others. But I thought I'd give you some special insight. What's my favorite translation at the moment? It's this one, the Jesus Storybook Bible. And I'm going to read a little bit from it. I'd commend it to any of you parents out there. It's great for your kids. Every story circles back and talks about Jesus. The bit that I was looking at today is talking about the story of Nehemiah and Ezra. It's called Get Ready. Have you ever been to a party that lasted a whole week? How about a sermon that went on all day? Well, that's what happened to God's people after they came home from being slaves. They'd forgotten how God wanted them to live or who they were supposed to be. So Ezra and Nehemiah read them the rules God had given Moses. And look, it's got all these rules, and more rules. But something odd happened. The more the sermon went on, the sadder they all got. Why? Was the sermon that boring? No, not really. It was strange, you see. As Ezra read the book of rules, it worked like a mirror. It showed them what they were like. And they didn't like what they saw. They saw that they had not been living the way that they should. They saw that they were cruel and selfish. We've blown it, they cried. Now God will punish us. They thought they knew what God was going to do, but they didn't. Of course, they might have picked up a clue from Ezra's name, which means help is here, and an even stronger one from Nehemiah's name, because his name means God wipes away our tears. And that, as you'll see, is just exactly what God was getting ready to do. Ezra looked at God's children. Great hot tears were welling up in their eyes and streaming down their cheeks. He stopped his sermon mid-sentence and shut the book. We're having a party, he shouted. And so that's just what they did all week long. Friends, we're going to see today that the end of the law and understanding the law is actually to come to be in wonder of the Lord. Because that passage that Jesus quoted from Isaiah, it goes on to say, God says, once more, therefore, I will astound these people with wonder upon wonder. And that's where we're going to go this weekend in the sermon. So I look forward to seeing you all down there. And by the way, the Jesus Storybook Bible, for you or your kids or any little people you know, I'd commend it to you as my favorite translation of the moment. Take care, and I'll see you soon.